Welcome to the Blue Byron Books Podcast. I am joined all the way from Arizona by Saylor Knight. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
Now, we were just saying you recently moved
hmm
from Flagstaff to Mesa, Arizona.
Yes, I did. Very recent.
What's 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 the biggest difference?
I would say right now, since it's summer, the heat, it's like 105 already, and it's not even
Oh,
like summer yet, so it can get up to like 120 even.
okay.
And it does not get
Okay.
like that in Flagstaff. It's usually the high is really only in the 90s. So,
Okay. Yeah, because I said your background's a little different and you have a wine. This is a wine rack in the background?
yeah.
Wine. What does it say before that? It says wine get
Oh,
better with
it says
time.
love and wine gets better with
Oh, okay.
time.
Very full circle. Very very good.
hmm
And what kind of wine do you like most?
My favorite wine is Sauvignon Blanc and the Pinot Grigio, two white wines. I'm really a white wine girly, and I really only like red wines if they're chilled, but they're usually not. So,
They are usually not. Yeah. I consider myself a red wine
yeah.
individual. But Sauv Blanc is probably my
Okay.
favorite white wine.
Yeah, it's really good. The Sauvignon's so smooth. Like the Pinot Grigio has a bit of a kick, which I like, but usually the Sauvignon just goes down so nice. I'm like,
Yeah. Do you
what's
ever
your
go to
favorite?
Napa?
Sorry,
My favorite what?
red wine?
Bordeaux.
Ooh, Bordeaux.
I don't even think like taste wise, it's my favorite. I like saying that I drink Bordeaux more than
Mhm.
anything else. So that's why I
Sounds
forget.
better.
It just sounds cool, like Bordeaux, and then like uh
That's how I feel with
like
Sauvon. Like,
Bordeaux red. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um like my favorite colors like wine red, that like Bordeaux red. Um I'm sure there are plenty of great red wines. Cabernet, I would go like more
Cabernet.
Cabernet than like a Pinot Noir.
Mhm.
Um, but Bordeaux, because I like saying Bordeaux.
I honestly don't remember if I've had Bordeaux before because I have been like wine tasting like a couple times. So I feel like I there had been something in there, but I don't remember ever like specifically having a glass. So I'm not
I feel
sure.
like it's a little more dry than sweet.
Got you, got you. I like a sweeter wine, but like nothing too much. Like dry, it just like dries my mouth so quick. I'm like, oh, I can't keep drinking this.
Yeah. You ever go up to Napa Valley?
I have, yeah. I actually went for not exactly on my 21st, but it was like a late 21st birthday because I grew up in San Jose and it's not too far from like where my sister still lives.
What's what's the Napa Valley tour like? Like, what is the atmosphere? What is the vibe? I see certain individuals on like Instagram going there, and it looks like very like I don't very interesting, very like sophisticated.
I will say I don't think that I toured it in a very sophisticated way. I did
Okay.
have reservations at one, and then we kind of like snuck in like a second, but it was really just kind of like touring, like unofficially. We were just kind of walking around the second vineyard, but the first one was like really beautiful. It was so much fun. My fiance for some reason decided to buy like the reserve wine, which was like $200, and he doesn't even like wine. He was just
Okay.
like, that was the best one, so I'll buy that. And I was like, you don't even like it. And he's like, well, we're only in Napa Valley like once, right? And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really funny because that wasn't even my fiance at the time. We were like, I think 3 months dating in. That point, he just met my
Okay.
sister and he buys like the most expensive wine. It was so funny. My sister's
Baller
like,
move. Baller move.
it's crazy. But it was really funny. Yeah.
Nice.
It
Nice.
was a good
Are there
wine.
a lot of people there? Like on the tour? Like, is it like a crowded scene or no?
I would say it's probably like busy. We went during summer, so it was pretty busy, but it wasn't crazy. And like there since we had like reservations for the wine tasting we did, there wasn't too many people there because like you kind of like get your time and the people that like serve the wine, they're very one-on-one with you and like go through all the steps of like what the wine is, what the palate is, and they just like talk it up, you know? And they talk a lot about like the wine vineyard too, like to kind of like give you some history on it too.
Nice. I'm partial to French wine.
Mm.
I really am.
Why is that?
Um, I often drink to like experience other places in the world, you know.
Okay.
So there was like a while there where I was going to Trader Joe's and trying like every non-American wine, like,
That's one way to do
oh,
it.
Portugal, let's go to Chile,
That's smart.
Italy. Yeah.
I only ever do I kind of do what you do, but I really just want like Italy, like Italian wine. So I always just like as soon as I see Italian, I'm like, that's what the one I want. Like I just go for Italian, like off the bat. I just know that I like Italian, like I have the Italian palate, like cheese wise, wine wise, like they got what I
Okay.
want. So I go for that. Like, but
Nice.
I honestly should probably start kind of like searching around because just because I stopped there doesn't mean maybe they have like other ones that I'd like more, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. It's often too like where I've been. So like I've been to France and Spain. So like I'll like those are my guys.
That's
Um
so cool. We're in France and Spain.
just Paris and France. And then Spain, I was in Madrid, Barcelona, Sevilla, and Valencia.
Okay.
Little tour, Spain.
Madrid.
First time
And
out of the country, actually.
oh, cool. That's
Yeah.
sick. I was in the Madrid airport, but I didn't leave it because I went right to the Canary Islands.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And so I
What are
was
the Canary
like,
Islands like?
it was really cool. Like, I stayed on the Tenerife one. I didn't get to like go to explore the other ones, but I stayed
Okay.
in like the Tenerife Island for like a full like month, which was kind of crazy because it was like
Whoa.
freshman year of high school, and it was insane to do that because I had to like basically I got ahead on a lot of like schoolwork, and then when I got back for some of it I was behind for sure, but some of it I was ahead. I was like, oh, cool, because
Huh.
like they like had to fall behind for some stuff because like can only plan so much. But yeah, I was like, okay, that's sick.
What's the most memorable thing from the Canary Islands?
Oh, they have such beautiful flowers there. And like you can see on a clear day the other island. Like
Hmm.
it's like just kind of like right there. The most memorable thing that happened to me though, specifically and my family, because we were there with like our host family, was definitely for me getting stung by two different sea urchins, and then my dad and my sister got stung by jellyfish. But for some reason,
Whoa.
the host family that were also out there did not get stung at all. Like they were not, the dad was out there and
Huh.
two of their kids, and it was just us. Like it was just us.
Wow.
We came back with battle scars, but that's okay. Like
Is there an actual scar where you got stung?
no,
Oh.
like it was really weird though with like the sea urchin thing. Like jellyfish, like they leave a mark and you have to like wait for the swelling to go down. But with sea urchins, like you have to wait for like the prongs to come out. Like it was
Ooh.
weird. I got two different ones though, because one was white and one was like purple, and like forgot which one was like deadlier. I think it was like the white one that was on my ankle, and that one had to come out first, but they got it out and it was fine. But the other ones I had to wait for it to slowly come out. And that was really
Yikes.
weird. Like I wanted them out. Like
That's crazy. Huh. Well, transitioning a little bit here, what Saylor has been writing some poetry, and we're very energized about that book coming out. What
Same.
got you originally interested in writing and books?
Oh my gosh, so much. But originally what got me to like really like sit down and like just put it on paper was when I was like going through a hard time. It was a transition, like a move from Iowa to Arizona, and that was a big one. And I just didn't feel like I had, I guess like enough like support system and like enough to like get all my thoughts out and like to kind of like share them with like a trusted person. So I just kind of like started writing in my notes just to like get them out. And then I just like kind of like how it sounded. I liked like almost like
Hmm.
twisting it a bit and not in any like reality or type of way, but I liked painting a picture almost in my mind instead of like, painting a picture, but like writing it out to where you can like it's very vivid. So I did that a lot and I always knew I liked writing. Like I loved dialogue and writing in like English class and like all this stuff. But when I was like 17, I remember was when I started writing in my notes and I just like wrote so much that I saved it all. And like that's
Hmm.
a lot of them are what I put into the poetry book that like gets published. So I'm really excited about that. But a lot of fine tuning was involved as well because not all of it was my best work. A lot of it is random and a lot of like that kind of creative flow comes in spurts. That's just like quick typing.
When you first started writing, what kind of like writing was it? Was it like journaling? Was it poetry? Was it like fiction,
So
imaginative?
yeah, so the funny part about my writing, it started as like I was really into what kind of helped me through my move was really music and like connecting to artists. And so I kind of thought of it more as like song lyrics. I would hear like music and I would just like write to those beats. So I would just put it in my notes app and like wherever I was, if I was like in class, I would just like write it on a piece of paper and then like put it into my notes app if I couldn't grab my phone, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I would just like make a list and it would be almost in my brain like 24/7 going. So it would be there a
Wow.
lot. But it really like transformed the way like I thought of a lot of things and I don't know, it was really fun to kind of have that art playing in the background because it kind of gave
Hmm.
me my own like soundtrack of life? Because everyone kind of like I
Yeah.
feel like has to have that. I don't know, it makes it more fun.
Yeah. Huh. What what three books have influenced you most?
Um, As far as books, I listen to music a lot more, but books, I would say The Hunger Games is a very influential book. I think not
Hmm.
just on me, but as a society, because that is still very like relevant today. But I also just love how um Katniss's like will to survive and live and like through her characterization, um you can just see that and then also like her willingness to protect PETA like that's what you want to live for because it's one thing to survive but you don't want to just survive you want to thrive and that's what like where PETA's character comes in and like that's what you want to
Yeah.
protect. So I think that's very beautiful as well how they show those characters. And then I'd say the second one that's kind of like very influential is more of like a guilty pleasure because I really love the selection. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
The selection?
Selection. It's a little bit more of a guilty pleasure. Like it's kind of like think like The Bachelor, but make it like put them in a castle. Like it's a lot of fun. I just like I can see myself so clearly in America, like the protagonist in the story, and she's just like I love the way the writer, yeah, right there. I love the way the writer writes the dialogue and I can just connect with the characters so well and it's just like I go back to this one a lot. And then the third one I'd have to say is Heated Rivalry, even though that one's new. And I first watched it as the TV show.
That is new.
It is,
Okay.
yeah. I read it as well, and honestly,
Yeah.
it's crazy in our culture right now. Like it's doing so much and it's influenced a lot of things. I think even in like Pride Month, it's so important for people to be authentically who they are and like it's crazy how many like people still hide who they are and like I don't know. It's just, it's very inspiring. It's even inspired me to like keep writing my work and like just like be as open as I am. Cause like that book like goes into like, I think it's a 10-year situationship where they're hiding behind this for like, for that long 10 years. They're pretending that they're not like queer and they're pretending that they're not together. And it's like, it's crazy. But it's very influential. I think all of those books are very different, but I have so much love for all of them in different ways. Like
Huh. I first learned about heated rivalry collaborating with Natalia.
Mhm.
She works, she collaborates on our Rich Edition classics. So we'll
Mhm.
meet up and then we'll go over like InDesign and we'll design these like literary classics.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it one day and she like shared her screen and like her desktop is like heated rivalry and like all this stuff. It's so funny. So I
It
learned
was
about it through
like
her. She was telling me about it,
that.
and then I saw the books and everything. Yeah,
Mhm. No,
yeah,
definitely, definitely. And it's, yeah, it can be a bit much, but I definitely love that at the core of what it is, it has so much heart to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you read? Um, I guess like, are you mentioned music? You listen to music more than reading. Are you a big
Yeah.
reader?
Yes, I do love to read, but I just like it comes in spurts. Like I'll randomly start reading a bunch of like library books because I have a Kindle and then I'll send them back because it just like automatically goes. But it has to be a really good book for me to like stay like in it and present.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you
It's
feel like
still
is that you or is that just like a
it
digital
just
culture where like there's so many distractions where you're like, I got other things I
I
want to
think
do,
it might
or
be that. And it's also just like the way I consume media. I think it's just like easier for me to consume um like movies and music and I still like to go in because I care more about like characters, dialogue, and when it comes down to it, lyrics with music because like when I'm listening to music, I go back in and I look at the lyrics and if like I don't know, I overanalyze this stuff. Like I go so
okay,
deeply into it. And like there are things that I care more like in it. So like I don't know. It all comes down to the writing for me, but it's still like certain aspects of it like I care more about. And I do really love books. I just there are some that I stick more with and I think I get into like I don't know, I want to be like in certain worlds when I go and read
mm,
books. And like when I can transform into a world and feel the world around me, that's when I really like a book and that's when I cling on to the most when
okay,
it's very vivid. And that's why I like music too, because like if I can feel the world around me, that's what I like. And movies are easier to do
yeah.
that than a book.
Do you ever go back to any particular book?
Yeah, I do. It's the selection, which is so like
The
it
selection.
the selection is so like silly, but it's like okay. Let me tell you, I am a redhead, and so is America. And I can see myself in it so clearly because she like she makes so many mistakes and she like she's a very like honest, doesn't really think before she like speaks sometimes and it gets her into trouble. And I feel like I just like I grew up in a similar way. And she has like a big family and I don't know, it's kind of like it has a beautiful world like I like, and then it also has aspects like I feel like I can connect to the character that I like as well. So it's kind of just like me throwing myself into like a mystical world that I love. Because then I just get to like pretend that I'm in a palace, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, so it's really
nice.
fun. Yeah.
How often do you go back to that one?
I love to like revisit it like every fall because they do a really good
Every
job with
fall. Okay.
every fall pretty much. Because like I love to like cozy up with like those books and just like light like my candle and like I have these fall decorations that I like do, and then I'm just like cozied up reading, and I'm just transported because they have this like whole like Halloween like section of the book too, where they make it like really a big like spectacle, and I'm just like. This is my moment. Like, I don't know. I love fall too. I am that girl for
Fall.
that.
Yeah. Fall is great. Sneaky great season. I feel like I think my least favorite season is spring.
Really? Why
Yeah,
spring?
spring. It's just so messy and so like it's like trying, but like
You're
it's
like,
like it's especially in the Midwest. The Midwest, it's like the time I hate the most, I tell people, is like it's not the brutal sheer cold. I don't mind that. Or like the
really?
snow. I like being inside when it's snowing. It's great. Or be out
That's
when it's
yeah,
like
I like that.
um but no, when it's like between 20 and 50 degrees and gray for 3 months straight. I just like
That's fair.
I don't like
What
that.
part, what part of the Midwest are you in again?
I'm in Wisconsin. Like
Wisconsin.
Chicago, southeast Wisconsin, Chicago
Okay.
area.
Okay, that's where Miles's family is at right now. And I'm like, I still need to go visit because like my fiance, that's where his family's at. And like they have like a property out there and like he says it's gorgeous. And I've only ever been to like, well, I lived in Iowa and it's pretty close and I feel like it's pretty fair, but
Yeah.
I really forgot so much. And I feel like spring's pretty like gorgeous in Iowa, I'd say. But like you guys still have like hills and all that, right?
Once it goes a little west, because like Wisconsin was under glaciers.
Okay.
So when it receded, there are like terrains from the glaciers.
Hmm.
Where I'm at, it's more flat. Illinois is like flat.
Okay.
But like Western Wisconsin, the closer you get to around Madison, Mississippi River, it's like real hilly, really beautiful.
Okay. Got you.
Um,
Got you.
yeah,
Yeah. I just
but
like
fall.
I think I've visited Wisconsin for the cheese, but then I don't really
Yeah,
remember what happened after that. And I just like I need to go back because I've heard like it's very beautiful. But I remember spring in the Midwest being really pretty. I just didn't like the winter, but maybe I'm like kind of putting some of the winter with the spring because I do remember what you're talking about where it's like bland and gray.
yeah,
Remember that. But
like
maybe
really
that's part
depressing.
of the spring. Maybe that's part of it. Like I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
Summer is great. Like I love the summers here are great. I noticed too, the rest of the US, it's like I look at the like temperatures. If you look at the back of a newspaper and then it has like US cities, and then in
Hmm.
the summer it's like New Orleans, Phoenix, Los Angeles, DC, New York. It's like really hot and humid, and the
Crazy.
Midwest is like
Crazy.
chill.
Yeah, no, that's one thing that I'll miss about Flagstaff for sure. They had gorgeous summers. Oof. These are hot, but it's okay. The rest of like the year is like so nice. It's so nice. And I don't like the cold. The winter is my least favorite
Yeah,
season for sure.
yeah,
And like if I could be sipping like the seasonal drinks they got in the fall all year round, I would. I would. But
okay,
they're all for a reason. But yeah.
yeah. What is what does your consumption of creativity look like on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, I'd have to say that it's mostly music I listen to on a daily. Like I said, like I often go back and I listen, like I look up the lyrics and I analyze them. Like after I first will just listen to it and like see if I like it like lyrically already off the bat from what I can gather, and then sonically, and then if I like it from there I go and look at the lyrics, and then I do the same with like music and TV shows where like if I like the movie or like the TV show, which isn't on the daily but like more so on the daily than like reading, I will also do the same. Like I will look at like think pieces and stuff like that. Like I don't know if you've seen Obsession. A lot of people are talking about that movie. Like after I went
Is
and saw
that an adaptation of Natasha Preston's book or no?
I don't I don't actually know. I don't think so. I thought it was just that one guy like who I think he's a YouTuber or something. He's the director and he made Obsession. He's gonna make like a whole world with it too. But it could be. I'm not sure, but I've heard a lot of think pieces on it. And it's a really good movie if you haven't seen it yet. It has a lot of nuance to it and it has like I love it when a movie doesn't like put the point in your face, but it's like clear, so you can like
Mm,
dive deeper to the story and there's so many aspects of it that can be looked at in different lenses. So you can like keep talking because like there's so
okay.
much it's so much fun when you get to just like dissect a piece and you can just like talk about it. Like, it's one of my favorite things ever. Like, I will talk someone's ear off about like music and shows and like if I care and if there's like it gets me going on like a topic, especially if it reflects something in the real world that I see, I will be so annoying about it. I will. Like, I'm like, guys, it's reflecting our world. Like, guys, this is literally talking about what's happening in life. So like I'll be really annoying. But you know what? It's fun. It's
Yeah, I
really
like that cerebral aspect of it. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, so what music are you listening to?
Right now I'd say I listen to a lot of Noah Khan because he just like he is a very honest person and like I would say I write from a very honest place and he just like puts his lyrics into such like beautiful ways and like I don't know, it's just like a lot of heart in his music. You can even hear it sonically but also lyrically and it's just it's really beautiful to hear and like his song Doors specifically from his new album it gets me crying like every
Okay.
time like it's so good. But it I don't know like if you go back, because like sometimes with a song you can like really feel connected to it, and then you don't even realize like there's even more to unpack once you look at the lyrics, and that's what I did, and I was like, oh, there's even
Mm,
more to this. Like that's even like
okay.
crazier, and that's what I honestly love about lyrics. You can pack so much into a small amount of time when you just like switch up a few words just by like twisting
Mm.
things. And it's like, oh wow, like it changes the meaning. And yeah. So I'm really loving Noah Kahan's because it does make me feel more connected to that artist. And I am getting to like go see him in August because he's coming to Phoenix. So
Okay. Where do you find the lyrics
I
to the
usually go
songs?
on Genius, but sometimes they have them on like
Okay.
Spotify. They like will have it connected, but sometimes when it like
Okay.
just drops, some artists don't have it connected yet. So and
Okay.
I will be the kind of person who waits for the drop. So yeah.
So
Yeah. Like I'll be there.
what's
I'm
the what's the best show you've ever been to?
ooh, the best show I've ever been to. I'm gonna be honest, like they're getting pricey, so like I like haven't been to that many.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know. Like I went to like off the bat, I can think of like a long time ago, I went to like Khalid's and he had such an
Okay.
amazing voice. Like he didn't need like anything. He was just on stage and like he had some like production going on, but it was just like truthfully like his voice and like the music that was backing him up that I'm like, he's got this. I don't know if there's a whole lot of other artists that I've seen. Like I really love Sabrina Carpenter, but I'm not gonna lie. I got such bad tickets and I wanted to go see her like emails I can't send to her because it was only $14, but I couldn't find anyone to go with me. So I was like, I don't want to drive all the way down because I was living in Flagstaff to Phoenix alone and then like figure it out from there.
Okay.
And for like I should have because it was $14 and like I could have seen her. But instead I spent like 350, me and my fiance both. So it was like $700 to be all the way in the back of the nosebleeds. And it was a really cool concert, but it's just like all the way back, a really cool set. But with the two little like side, like you'll look at her, but then in order to see her, you have to look at the screen. But
Yeah, oh yeah. Okay.
yeah, you can't like unfortunately like what Taylor Swift did right was like she put it right behind her. So you can kind of just immediately see her.
Oh, okay.
Like you can be looking at her and then see a bigger person. And like the coolest part of Sabrina Carpenter's like tour was when she had a backdrop. So I could be looking at her and then a bigger like her was just in the back. And I was like, okay, I feel connected to that was the most like the best
Okay.
part of that concert to me because I felt connected to the artist at that point. But it was like that's the only set that had that, and I was like, that kind of sucks. But yeah, you don't know that until you get there. But yeah, it was
Huh.
really cool still, and I still like really rock with her. And you never know, like it's just the nosebleeds. Like, what am I gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you been to a Taylor Swift show?
No, I really wanted to go to the Eras Tour one, and I actually like had the opportunity to. It was gonna be like 300 something, but I just like accidentally like because I skidded on the ice and like hurt my car. Like the bottom of my car like skidded onto the bottom of the concrete. Like you know when you just hit the curb, but like the bottom of your car does. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's not tall enough to kind of like avoid that. And then so that was gonna cost like $1,000, but my parents were taking care of it. And I was going to actually drive that car to California for spring break. But since that happened, I had to stay in Phoenix. And so I was like, oh, well, I could go to the Eras tour instead. That'd be cool. So I was like gonna do that. But then my mom, who was literally paying
Yeah.
$1,000 to save my car, she's like, if you do that, I'm not helping you. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go. So I didn't.
Okay.
Long story short, I did not go to opening night of the Eras tour. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Honestly valid. Like I can't even be mad. I didn't have to spend $1,000. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you do you notice a pattern in the art that you're drawn to? Like, do you notice patterns in them?
Yes, very much so. I will say I have like two patterns and I my first one is I'd say like since I write from a very like honest and open place, I kind of have two as well. But I really like my art to be like that too. And so I'm drawn to artists that can like just be very like raw with how they're feeling. And
Hmm.
just it's really beautiful because even if you don't like completely relate to like what they're saying, you can still feel their emotions and like feel it with them and almost just like it's a beautiful thing to just feel connected to a stranger, you know, just
Hmm.
through their work. And like one example of that is like Olivia Rodrigo's song Begged. Like that's not even out yet. And it's just like one of like the saddest songs I've heard. I was like, oof, that's tragic. But like I can't even completely relate to it, but I just have so much empathy and I can just like sit with the song and the lyrics and feel it, you know? And like it's just like I don't know, creating a space and like it's beautiful. I don't know. So that's one that I'm really drawn to. Another one that I'm really drawn to is like the over like dramatics. I love it when people can like be too dramatic and hype something up. Like I was obsessed with what was it? Like melodrama and like I honestly love it when people can go like too dramatic and then strip it down as well. Like Lord's melodrama and stuff like that. So it's kind of like it's kind of both, I guess, but because I can be too dramatic, so I guess I like to write from that place too. Like I guess it's kind of both, like, to say the least. But yeah, I I really like both because I there are two different like facets I can write from, and I really like writing from a place of raw like integrity and like more mature outlooks. And sometimes I do like writing over the top and just like exactly how you're feeling. Maybe it's messy, but it's how you feel, you know?
Like the vulnerability of it to just like
Yeah,
put it
the
out there.
vulnerability of it,
I
just like
respect that. I respect
even if
that.
it's like
Yeah.
so like pathetic and maybe not right, it's just like whatever. Yeah, that's how you're feeling. Like,
But even if like you say it's not right, but there's probably something there that's true because it's
yeah,
like exerting a feeling or like
yeah,
a something, where like, you know what I mean?
definitely, definitely. And I was like obsessed with like what's her name? Like, have you ever heard of like Melanie and the Diamonds? Like,
No.
am I even saying that right? Let me find her. Marina and the Diamonds. Because I was obsessed with Electra Hearts when I was a kid. And like that whole album, just like amazing. And like Teen Idol was like obsessed. I was obsessed with this like as a kid. And it was just like a album that was very like over the top and dramatic, but she would go back down to earth a lot. And then like she would still
Okay.
talk about things that were very like um just like it was kind of a hard topic to talk about, but she talked about it with maturity still, but then she would go back into like immaturity. Like she just like was
Okay.
struggling. Yeah. And like I kind of just growing up, I kind of like felt in between that. And I think that's just growing up. You know what's right, you know where you are, and then you just like you ping
Yeah.
pong and then the line gets thinner and thinner and then you kind of figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel more inspired by people from the past or contemporary time?
I definitely would say contemporary time just because it's so like fresh, it's so new, and I think where we are as a society too, I feel more inspired by what they're putting out. It also is inspiring to see artists of our time put stuff out because I'm like, wow, if they're creating stuff right now in the flesh, like I can too. And it's
Yeah.
like there's no real separation. And it's also just cool to like even bounce ideas off of strangers because like I don't know them, but what they put out, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's making me think of something. So I'll like, you know, be
Yeah.
having inspiration
That is
from,
true.
yeah. So like even though like you can get inspiration from truly anything, like if you haven't heard or seen it before, but like there's so much hype a lot of the times from like people putting stuff out now that it's easy to like see it.
What social media app do you use the most?
Ooh, probably TikTok. Like I love posting and I post a lot more on Instagram, but TikTok I consume more.
Okay.
Because like there's just so
TikTok.
many
Okay.
think pieces on TikTok and I love it when people break things down. Like I have so many people just talking on my TikTok about like I said, media and like films and stuff. And sometimes even just human behavior because that's so interesting to me. But yeah.
Okay. What about what about your own creative process? Put me in your space. Like what is the environment? What's going on?
Um, it really depends on what I'm working with because like I have a whole lot of like different like projects that I work on, but a lot of the times it starts with like quiet, like things need to be kind of like a little bit more um just like, fewer distractions, like helps me focus. I just like my process a lot of the times is I just will put something on paper, whatever kind of inspires me. Um, and I just kind of like I say a lot, but writing is rewriting for me. I will like start messy and then refine and then repeat the process as many times as it takes.
Okay.
Sometimes I just like will keep a project where it is, and then I will literally just like replicate that project and then just like completely like redo another from the same one, and it'll look completely different, but they came from the same thing. So it's kind of weird. because it's like they were the same and now it's one's completely different. So it's two new projects, but they were the same. And so yeah, I usually do that. And then it really depends on if I have a deadline or if I don't. Like I just kind of like if I have a deadline, I will have my planner out and I love my planner. I love my planner. Like I spend sometimes more on my planner than I actually do like on the thing.
Classic.
I love planning and I love the idea of doing things. But anyway, like
Is the planner physical or is it
it's
digital?
both sometimes. Sometimes I have like three planners. Like
Okay.
yeah, like color coding everything. Like
Oh,
but
a color. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
most of the
that's
time
one step I haven't caught.
most of the time now it's mainly on like Google Docs because I just sometimes I'm so indecisive, so I just need to put it like in something that I can edit because either I'm too like ahead of things or I'm just messing with it because I'll write it down and I'm like, wait, no, now I'm thinking of this because as I'm planning, I'm I'm wanting to change how I plan it because I'm thinking of another way to do it. I'm just indecisive
Okay.
when yeah. But anyway, if I have a deadline, I will stick to it. And a lot of the times I do like getting strict with like my work because then it helps me kind of think in a box. And I don't have any problem with thinking in a box because it kind of like helps me like follow a bit of a curve. And then if you don't like following the lines,
Yeah.
you can switch it anytime. But like if that helps, it helps. And then if I don't, I'm just like free.
It's like constraints, using constraints to create freedom in a way.
Yeah, definitely because it truly no one's forcing you to make this. No one's actually like
Yeah.
make this, you have to do this. But like sometimes it's just like if you have a deadline, it just makes things so much like clearer. And like if even if you're like throwing in random things that you have to like add or do, you can like get creative with how you have to do it. You know, like especially for projects, I found that it was always easier to write and do more. And maybe it's just because like I'm not the best with writing like plot. I'm so good with characters and I'm so good with dialogue. I understand my characters' motives. I understand them. I understand like where what they'd say, what they do. But when it comes to plot, I'm like, what are we doing? Like I have to plan that out so well because I'm lost as well. I don't understand. The plot can get messy real quick. Anyway, but that's why we have our planner. Yeah. But and then it also kind of depends with what I'm writing. Like if I'm writing poetry,
Okay.
that's poetry comes with a lot of like strong emotions. So like that'll be more like that'll really depend like if I'm gonna like if I have to get something off my chest, that's usually how poetry gets made for me. With like fictional writing with like a book, it's very much like calmer and more deliberate. Like maybe the stress of like the plot that I'm planning will get me, but that's it. Like usually I'll just be typing away. It gets done pretty like pretty well. Yeah.
Do you care about your physical space, like environment wise? Are you designing
Yes, yeah. Oh my
what
gosh.
do you put in your space to get the results that you want
Like for inside the book, right? Or inside like outside.
outside? Inside like
Okay.
outside.
Okay. I'm like, do you mean like when I'm writing the book, like what the inside of
What's
it?
your creative space look like
Okay.
physically?
My creative space actually doesn't have to look like much, honestly. I just don't want people talking.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
very fair.
Because honestly, I can write anywhere as long as like there's no distractions. Because as soon as I'm in it, I'm in it. Like if I'm like planning something, there can be distractions. I'm just like on a
Okay.
planner. Like I can do that. But as soon as I'm writing, I'm connected to something. Like I'm directly there's like a line and like there's something going in and something coming out. You know what I mean? Like I'm constantly like hearing and like going
Okay.
down, if that makes sense. And then like it's just so if there's any distractions, it's not gonna like flow. And because like I'm just gonna be constantly typing for like however long that lasts. And then then the next day I'll just deal with whatever I wrote. Like and then like I said, rewriting. That's the different part. But
You
yeah,
ever
so I
go outside? Is it nice outside in Arizona? Do you just like sit
it
on a
is.
chair and just like
Yeah, sometimes. I really do. Like I like in Flagstaff I had a balcony and that would be really nice. And I used to like
balconies? Balconies are sick. I love balconies.
yeah, I used to like let my cat out there. Used to play the guitar out there. It was like super nice. Like honestly, that was a really nice space to be at. It's just like whenever the winters would come, I would not be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now like in the winter, I'll be fine.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
go outside in the winter now? Do
Yeah.
that?
It's gonna be so
Okay.
nice now. Yeah.
So then what's your relationship with discipline and intuition in
Ooh.
creating meaningful work?
Hmm. Well, I think like discipline and intuition, like they have a direct relationship with each other. I think discipline is like the groundwork and intuition is the guide. Like discipline allows you to color in the lines and intuition is like knowing which color you want to use. And like I make like meaningful work by using both at my disposal. And like discipline isn't something you think about, it's something you do because like I love to plan and I do plenty of it, but like if I think too much about it, like with discipline, I'll just like over complicate it and I won't do it. So
Mm,
you just do it. Like discipline isn't
yeah.
yeah. So with discipline I know that once I get into something and get my hands dirty, that's where like the intuition will come from. And like sometimes you can be lost on the page, but like it's really just getting something out first. And that's when a lot of things start to flow. And I feel like the sooner
Mm,
you just like stop pretending that like it has to be perfect, that's when you'll start writing. And then that's when you'll get intuition like that, you know? So I feel like that
yeah.
you
Well said.
it
Yeah.
happens pretty quickly for the most part, but like it's also like it doesn't if you don't have a deadline, it doesn't have to be like perfect. And I usually would just make very short poems for the most part, but sometimes I swear things would just like shoot right out of me and I'm like, that's a whole body of work. And then I would just save my draft and like keep it in there. Like like
There's like a flow to it.
yeah, sometimes
Like
it
a
just
like a uh,
sometimes you don't even know like what you wrote or like where you wanted to go with something and then you're like wow that makes sense and that has meaning behind it and then you get to look at it from a different lens than what you originally like came up with and then you're like oh I like where that's heading and then you can like go more off of that but like sometimes I like it honestly the most when I don't even have time to think about it because I don't have time to second
mm,
guess it when I just keep going. That's the most fun for me because there's no input yet. Because then all the input can come later, and that's just revising and re-editing and all that. Because that'll get the most amount of work. And I honestly just like reading a lot and when it's like so much, that's my favorite kind to consume, just a lot.
yeah. I like what you said about getting past the idea of perfection.
Hmm.
I feel like too many times artists, creatives, they have this idea in their head of what perfect is, and it delays them in doing the work or putting something out. And when you think about it conceptually, conceptually, it's like every person, like there's like perfection does not exist because it's in one individual's head, but then the idea of perfection could be different in this person's head and this person's, it's like, so what are we even talking about here? It's just like
Yeah.
go make stuff.
And that's
Yeah.
exactly why it's messy. Like the whole process is messy because it's never gonna look right it entirely until it feels right to you. And that's kind of like the whole point. Like
Yeah.
it's really just up to you. And that's what makes it your art and like your work. And so that's a beautiful part. It's finding like it's what's worth it, you know?
when people find your work, say years from now, what do you hope they will take away from it?
I definitely hope that when people find my work, that they will feel a sense of belonging and understanding. I know that whenever I find like somebody else's work and I feel connected, it's like the best feeling ever. So I would love it if someone like read my work and they didn't feel like alone. If they just like
Mm.
I don't know, they'd be like a really beautiful feeling if they just felt they just felt seen by my work. And it'd be really cool to like I don't know, like I've shown my siblings what I've wrote and like they were like, wow, I feel seen, like I feel those things, but it's like those are my siblings. So it'd be really cool for
Yeah.
like a stranger to be able who like does not know me, doesn't know like anything about me to just see my work and see that. So that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Well said. Really great. What's something you're learning right now? What's something aware that you're learning right now?
Okay. This might sound like a little silly, but I think just like as a coping mechanism, I learned as a kid to just think that like some of like the big questions were never going to be answered and I should just go about life just not expecting them to be like I just shouldn't trust some things and shouldn't like just believing that like I'm just not going to know the answer to most things and I should just not believe most things and just do my own thing, right? But I don't know. I'm kind of learning that I'm like there are people in the world literally like solving equations we didn't know to even look for. And there are people trying to advance the world right now. And it's like I didn't really think about it like that for the longest time. So it kind of just the realization kind of dawned on me recently. Like there are people genuinely trying to make the world a better place. And I don't know, I guess I kind of like short-circuited there where I was just like, I just gave up without even thinking about that, you know? Like, and I've never been that good at science. I've never been that good at math, but like, I'm genuinely curious about stuff like that now. And I'm like, I guess I'm just learning to stay curious because some of those like questions that we didn't even know to ask might just be answered in our time. Like we didn't know that we could pretty recently put like a man on the moon. Like I don't know, like it's crazy to think about. Like the older I get, the more I'm like that wasn't that long ago. Like it's stuff like that.
In your lifetime, I'm gonna say yours because it's not guaranteed we'll live to be the same age or whatever, but I guess generationally in our
Yeah.
lifetime,
Yeah. You're not that old. How
I'm
old are
not,
you?
no. I'm in my 30s.
Okay, that's not old. How old are you?
No, I'm 37.
37? You're young.
I am young. I feel young.
Yeah. So our lifetime.
No, I'm saying is like that's the thing about life though too, is like you could die tomorrow. You know what I
That's
mean? So it's
that's
like
don't take it
I
for
like to like precaution things and not
yeah, knock on
assuming we're
wood.
gonna live for a long time. Actually, I
Yeah.
was telling my grandma this morning. She's
Hmm.
96. She turned 96 like 2 weeks ago. I said,
Wow.
Grandma, I was reading the Guinness Book of World Records and 116. No one is past 116 right now. There's like 10 people who are 116. And her jaw just dropped. She's like,
I'm gonna make it.
116? Like, you could tell, like, she's like, I know where I am. How the hell are they like another 20 years older? Like,
Yeah.
um, But like in our lifetime, what would be what would shock you?
Ooh, I don't know what would shock me. There's so much that would shock me genuinely. Like,
You think so? I feel like we're predispositioned now to like
yeah.
we can
I
do anything essentially.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I guess like what would shock me would be like, and I think we're gonna get there eventually, but like if we have the technology from like our phones and like into our like skin or something, like that would shock me. Like, but
Okay.
that would be kind of insane. But honestly, I'm just like I'm so curious about like outer space and like everything going on out there because the planet is still like expanding and like it's just it's never like ending and it's just so fascinating like how many things like I would just like constantly hear and just be like that's insane and like not really like look further into it but I'm like what the hell is that? What is
Yeah.
that? Like, that's crazy. And like just the mass of like we're a small like planet and like we're also a small galaxy for that. So it's like I don't even know what would have to happen to shock me because it's the fact that we're not burnt up by the sun as well.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
took a I took a trip down to Miami in May, and on the flight there, I watched this documentary called Nothing and Everything, and he described it so well. So like the universe is so expansive
Hmm.
that there are more stars in the universe than grains of sand of every beach in the world combined. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then I was on Miami Beach and I like held
You're like,
sand
wait,
in my hands and I'm like, I told my
yeah,
friend, I'm like,
right.
look at this. Did you know that our universe
No,
has
literally.
more stars than grains of sand on planet Earth?
Oh my God. That's crazy.
I asked that question to my grandma, and she said, so she's seen a lot from like born in 1928, 29 till now. She's seen so much change, right? She was
Yeah.
shocked most. You want to guess?
Was it COVID? No, no, couldn't be.
No.
I don't think it was the moon
Kind of
landing.
close. Kind of close with COVID.
Really close with COVID. Was it something more like on land or was it technology or like rockets or
I'll just tell you. The polio vaccine. Or
really?
not polio vaccine. And now I'm not even remembering. Um,
Is it like Ebola?
and no, the antibiotics, something in the like the 40s or 50s,
Oh,
where it was like, I don't think it's the polio vaccine. Darn it! Now I brought this up. I can't even remember.
like I'm curious.
No, it's health wise. It was like they had like either a vaccine or something that like dramatically shifted people's
Okay.
perspectives. I thought that was interesting because of all the things she could have said, with cars and
Hmm.
planes and she said like this essentially like this health thing for people.
Yeah.
There was an issue before with diseases or illnesses, and now this, and it's eradicated.
That's interesting. This is so random, but like I recently saw like a photo of this cigarette. like this person dressed in a cigarette, uh what is it called when they're um like almost like they put it on, like think of like at a football game, like they put on a suit.
Like a
I'm trying to
mascot?
Yeah, like a mascot. It was like a cigarette
Okay. Like a
mascot.
cigarette mascot?
Yeah, like a cigarette mascot. Like he was in a suit, physical suit, and he was handing out cigarettes to like people in hospitals. And it was like they literally thought that like cigarettes were like healthy back then. So it was like this guy is dressed as a cigarette and handing it to people in the hospital as if it's gonna help them at all. And it's literally not. And I'm like, can you imagine just like going back in time and be like, cut that out? Like, stop it. Like, you don't want that. Like,
Yeah, but it makes me think, what are we doing today that people in the future will be like, wow,
do
people
that.
in the early 21st century were doing that? That's crazy.
Yeah, there could be so much. Makes you think. That's really funny though, because like there's no way like to. I just can't believe that even worked. There's like, how could you think that smoke going into your lungs could help you?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. Like,
It relieves
I get the release of stress. I get that part, but I don't know.
smoke. Yeah.
Smoking, there's no way. Like, but whatever. People still like drink,
That's
so
true.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, how do you envision growth, success? It's getting late in the night for me. I'm 2 hours ahead.
So
Last
fair.
question. How do you envision growth, success, and fulfillment in your life?
Well, for growth, I want to continue developing my craft. I want to keep learning and creating. I think success for me has changed a lot. I really just want to keep putting my work out into the world, and seeing my creative goals become reality. It's one of like the funnest things to see, just like the little milestones that you didn't like once think completely were possible, just like slowly become more and more real. Um, for fulfillment, I feel a lot of like fulfillment from being at peace with myself, and sharing meaningful work with others, especially creating meaningful work with others as well. That's a lot of fun too.
Mm.
And never giving up on the things that I care about. I think my current milestones are like releasing my poetry book, and then all those poems that really have been with me since I was like 17. That's just gonna be really exciting to finally like share them with readers, and like, you never know.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Wonderful
Thank
conversation.
you for having me. It's been so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really blessed to be here. I'm so excited. It's been so fun getting to like be part of this process, and just writing and getting to go back into my old work and like kind of just like I said, rewrite. And honestly, it's been a lot of fun being on this podcast too, because I didn't even know that you guys had a podcast when you like offered it. I was like, yeah, I'll go on that.
Well, we're getting better at that. We're moving now to increase more of our visibility, awareness, and all those things,
Yeah.
you know. So thank you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.